Hey there, Central Ohio. I'm 10 Weather Impact meteorologist Michael Behrens, back for another edition of the 10 Weather Impact Show. Our cold weather hasn't been going anywhere this week, with another frigid morning out there earlier today and at least 2 or 3 more before we finally start to warm things up heading into next week. We can actually get some of those morning low temperatures up above the 0 mark, likely by the weekend and certainly by next week. But if you're looking for anything that's going to melt a lot of the snow, you're going to have to keep looking, because our forecast is just not going to get out of winter mode anytime soon. 10 TV Weather Impact Alert days will continue tomorrow morning all the way through Sunday morning for the bitter cold air that is pushing into Central Ohio. Sub-zero air temperatures and certainly sub-zero wind chills will continue to be a possibility as we head through Friday and into the start of the weekend. It won't be really to the other side of the weekend that things substantially improve out there with regard to just how cold things are going to be. Of course, we still got to watch out for those icy spots across the region, not just in the mornings, but really any time of the day, as we see a little bit of melting happen in those areas that have been treated. Once the sun comes up, a lot of that will refreeze overnight, despite some of the salt, because of just how cold things are getting. So use caution out there for that ice. Here's a look at the satellite picture this afternoon. Got a little bit of cloud cover pushing in from the north, but we've seen some clearing here in Columbus, so that's some good news out there. Sunshine coming down as of the afternoon. Big picture, not showing any major systems coming our direction. There is a little bit of snow activity back out towards central Illinois and southern Indiana. We do think that is going to track south of Ohio as we head through tonight. Small chances we get into early Friday that we may see some light snowfall down in our southern counties. We're talking like Pike, Ross, Athens County and south. I would not expect that to really go any further north than that. So this should be a pretty minimal impact, kind of a glancing blow. But if you're in those southern counties, don't be surprised if you see a little bit of that snowfall tomorrow morning. Here's a look at the downtown view from the Scioto Audubon. Sunshine coming down at the moment, but we're seeing some of those clouds make their way back in across the region. Cloud cover going to kind of be variable throughout the rest of the day today and into tonight. Overall, though, shouldn't make too big of a difference on how temperatures are performing, with the winds that have come largely from the north and that snowpack helping to keep us in this kind of just cold weather pattern again. 16 outside right now, feels like 9. Winds out there not nearly as strong as they have been over the past couple of days. We stayed with sub-zero wind chill for most of the day yesterday, with winds at this hour that were about 3 to 4 times stronger than they are now. So good news, we don't have to deal with that this afternoon. This morning out there, take a look at some of these low temperatures. It was -12 in Lancaster, -8 in Newark, down to -4 in Marysville. Officially only down to 3 in Columbus, but that was over at John Glenn. Checked a couple of the other sensors out there and over at Bolton Field, Rickenbacker, and the Ohio State Airport. All of them made their way sub-zero by about 3 to 6 degrees. So just kind of one warm spot there in Franklin County. Much of the rest of us were back into that sub-zero territory. As far as temperatures go right now, again, most of us are in the mid to upper teens. We've got some 20s in the southern counties, 20 in Chillicothe, 21 Piketon, 20 MacArthur, but 17 in Delaware. No sub-zero wind chills at this hour. So again, we're getting a nice little break from just that absolute worst of the cold as we head through this afternoon. It is still certainly cold, but obviously could be a worse situation if the winds were a bit higher. Winds out there right now, mostly in that 5 to 10 mile per hour range. This should hold pretty steady as we head through the rest of the evening and into tonight. We're not expecting any kind of real big ramp up in the winds over the next 24 to 48 hours. So wind chill will still remain a small factor, but not excessively so like we've seen over the past couple of days. Still, though, when you push temperatures down into the low single digits and below 0, of course, you'll get negative wind chills too. Over the next couple hours, wind chill factor not overly aggressive. Temperature down to 7 by about 8 o'clock tonight. We'll see that temperature continue to fall, eventually making its way down to about -1 by early tomorrow morning. Mostly cloudy skies as we head through the evening hours. Winds out there will be relatively light, so the wind chill factor not going to be extreme. probably only going to get down to around -5, -10 as we head through tonight, as opposed to that 10 to 20 or colder that we've been seeing over the past couple of days. As of the afternoon, no cold alerts had been issued in the 10 TV viewing area. We do have cold weather advisories just outside of our area, up toward Tuscarawas County and over toward Pennsylvania. But right now we were sitting clear across central Ohio. Of course, we'll keep you up to date if that changes. Speaking of morning lows, we'll probably get at least one more morning of some cold alerts out there, with tomorrow being -1, not as extreme as it has been, but we get back into some of that really bitter air by early Saturday. We're expecting to drop down to around -6 out there by Saturday morning. After that, we'll start a recovery as we head toward next week. We get back into positive territory by Sunday and Monday mornings, and still in the single digits. But from there, we climb substantially by Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday. Low temperatures rising up into the teens, and this is starting to get back into just normal cold for winter in Ohio, and not so much this Arctic air that we've been dealing with for the past week or so here across the region. Taking a look at the hour-by-hour forecast, it's kind of overdoing cloud cover a bit. I was just talking with meteorologist Aaron White about this not too long ago. We think the models are kind of picking up on that dense snowpack and overdoing what it thinks are clouds across the region. So I would expect to see more of a partly cloudy condition out there through tonight and into tomorrow, at times tipping over to mostly cloudy, but overcast I don't think is going to be in the cards. As we head through tonight and into tomorrow, again, we'll continue hour by hour. We'll watch to the south, see if any of that snow comes up as we head through early Friday. Again, I think it's going to be a small chance. We're only talking 20% for the southern counties, so this is going to be likely missing us for the most part. Again, partly cloudy as we head through the day tomorrow, and then we'll see a little bit more in the way of some clearing as we head into Friday night, early Saturday. This is going to help contribute to that really cold temperature we get Saturday morning. Again, expecting to get down to around that -6 range here in Columbus. This is probably going to be a morning much more similar to what we had out there Wednesday morning, with some really, really low temperatures being recorded. So we'll have to keep a close eye on just how low things get. Speaking of snow chances, outside of that small chance to the south, not much in the forecast. We're not looking at anything today. That's passing chance to the south tomorrow. We're back to pretty quiet weather through the weekend, maybe a few stray snowflakes by next Monday. Our next best chance for snow up to about 40% coming next Wednesday, though this part of the forecast typically has some changes to it, and it wasn't looking like a very impressive snow system as of last check. So don't put that down as a guarantee just yet. But overall, this would be our next best chance to get some snowflakes in here, but I think we've all seen just about enough of that over the past weekend. Here's a look at your 10 Weather Impact 7-day forecast. We keep 3 more of those 10 TV Weather Impact alert days in place: Friday, Saturday, Sunday morning, for that bitter cold air out there. Of course, once we get past this weekend, we finally start to get into some improvement when it comes to the temperatures out there. 25 your high Monday afternoon, back in the 20s in the morning, down in the single digits, but following Monday, it's all uphill. 17 out there by early Tuesday, same early Wednesday, but by Wednesday we could get back up into the 30s. We should be in the 30s this time of the year. Everything we've been experiencing this week well below average out there, so it's been pretty impactful for people around central Ohio. One thing I do want to point out before we get off the forecast here, if we do get down to -6 on Saturday morning, that would tie a record cold low. The last time we were down there was 2004 when we hit -6. Our forecast right now would tie it. We haven't set any records in Columbus so far this week. This would be the closest we could get over the next 7 days. Overall, though, pretty quiet forecast outside of those bitter cold temperatures. So keep an eye out toward the end of our week here when we get back into those more, I don't want to say comfortable, but at least not so brutally cold conditions. At 30 next week, I think is going to feel pretty good across central Ohio. Of course, the cold out there across the region has caused a lot of impacts to people at home, and especially when it comes to their travel. And to help things out, today COTA has been waiving fares because of the cold temperatures. We've been reporting about it all week. You may have delays on your route, but overall that free fare is going to help people out. So leave early and have patience. For any COTA issues, call the customer service line. And the extreme cold also causing water lines to burst across the city of Columbus. City reports there are 50 breaks that crews are actively working to repair. You can see some of the locations here on your screen in red. The breaks are flooding streets with water that is quickly turning to ice. 10 TV told you about this very issue affecting people on Neshoba Avenue in the Hilltop neighborhood. But the good news is they're finally getting some relief. The street was covered in a thick layer of ice from that water line leak for several days. Drivers got stuck because of it, and people felt trapped in their homes. 10 TV's Carly Dion brought their concerns to the mayor on Tuesday, and the city brought in heavy machinery to start removing ice yesterday.
Could this have been prevented? I don't know. I think the timing of it was all very crazy, but I'm happy that people are out here now.
Of course, we have a full list of the waterline breaks across the city. You can find that posted now on 10tv.com. Let's take a look as of the afternoon when we are seeing snow emergencies out there. Counties have been beginning to cancel many of these snow emergencies, and many of the rest of the counties that are still in place are in level 1. That includes Franklin and Fairfield counties. There are still a handful of level 2 counties out there. Coshocton, Morgan, Jackson County still under some of those heavier snow emergency conditions. Of course, the weather out there, it's not just impacting how we feel physically. It could be giving us a little case of the winter blues as well. If that's you, now's the perfect time to start to plan your next vacation. And several cruise companies, they are offering major discounts. It's known as wave season. Jen Sullivan highlights just some of the hot deals you can score right now.
With bitter cold temperatures sweeping the country, you may be dreaming of white beaches instead of snowbanks. And now is a great time to book a trip because many cruise companies are slashing their prices.
You can find deals, discounts, incentives, and offers all across the board.
Emily Kaufman, known online as the Travel Mom, says from now through March, many cruises offer promotional savings. It's known as wave season.
Historically, this time of year is slow when it comes to travel. This is an incentive to get people thinking about travel, planning, and booking their cruises.
AAA estimates nearly 22 million Americans will take a cruise this year. That would be a record. So what type of discounts are we talking about? From now through February 16th, Princess Cruises is offering up to 40% off on select trips. Kaufman says that's up to $500 of savings. You can sail to places like the Caribbean, Europe, and Alaska. Celebrity Cruises has a deal for 75% off the second guest on select trips. Carnival Cruises is offering 50% off select trips, but that deal ends January 31st.
National Geographic Lindblad expeditions sails to great places like the Galapagos and Antarctica, and you can save 20% off of those experiences now too.
And it's not just big cruise lines. You can also find deals on many river cruises. You don't have to take your trip right away, but you do have to book it now to score the deals. For Consumer Watch, I'm Jen Sullivan.
And finally today, let's check out some new video into us here at 10 TV. 10 TV, as asked, and you answered the call for photos of your pets enjoying winter weather out there. We've gotten tons of photos over the last few days, including these pictures from Katie of her dog Cooper. Cooper looks to be out there having some fun in the snow. And you can see some dogs are specially made for the cold. Ashley sent this video of her husky clearly enjoying his time in his natural environment, getting in the snow, digging around, hopping around, having some fun. I think it's going to be hard to get that husky back inside. He's absolutely tearing it up in the patio. He wants to be out there. He loves that. But some dogs, you know, they don't have, well, time for the cold and snow. This photo here is Lily Beans, sent to us by Cheryl in Westerville. You can see she is all bundled up in her dog bed, and who can blame her for not wanting to go out in this winter weather? Definitely looks cozy, and that face says, please, please don't make me go back outside. I understand that. Definitely a feeling that can be envied in this kind of weather. There is some light at the end of the tunnel, though. You saw it there on the 7-day forecast. We are expecting to get those temperatures back up into the 30s as we head toward next week. As of now, nothing above freezing in the forecast, but I think we can finally start to push that direction as we get to next week. Hopefully we can get temperatures up above that freezing point, if not next week, but in the next 2 weeks. That can help us start to melt some of the snow. But realistically, the amount of snow that we've piled up across the region from the snow plows and the roads and stuff over the past several days, that's going to take a long time before it's gone. But we are going to be keeping an eye on things around the region. Of course, keeping an eye if we do add any more snow to that forecast. Later tonight, I'll be back in for 5, 6 o'clock, and then again at 11 to keep you covered on the latest forecast and cold temperatures in the morning. Until then, you can catch more news and weather online, 10tv.com. Have a great afternoon.